Hello Jane and all the workers at Shi Young Fa. This is the final result for the Mort Sock. This is how it will look from the underside installed into the bottom center of the net. It's basically 4 triangles of netting on diamond, and they're all sewn together, and then the chafe panel goes in the inside. This shows the chafe panel, but in reality we would sew it completely to the right seam to seam. You didn't need to have 2 seams so close together. She misunderstood me. But this chafe panel would be sewn to all 4 sides on the inside as added protection. And the Mort Sock is built separately entirely. Put a couple of little ropes on it there with a loop so that you can hang a weight. This is just a representative example. I would use maybe a little bit longer, almost 1 meter ropes with a more solid loop for a better, stronger attachment. But this is just to show you. Mind you, this is the full-size model. We have installed this into a hole that's 1.2 by 1.2 meters. First we found the center of the bottom and we measured that hole out 60 centimeters on each side, and then we cut the square, and then we install the Mort Sock with the seams to the outside. You can see these are the bottom edge. The seam is to the outside. We did each one separately. We went around all 4 sides, and then we installed a rope. It'll be a continuous rope with no loops in any corners, and the rope is sewn to the seam to the outside so that there's no lumps on the inside when the dead fish are trying to slide into the hole. All this stuff is on the outside, and that's how it's done. Hopefully that's clear. There's a bunch of photos I have to send you as well. I would like to say the piece that you cut out of the bottom, this piece that you remove the bottom, bundle it up and tie it into one of the top line loops so that in case they don't want to use this Mort Sock, they can just sew it back over the hole and cover it, and the Mort Sock can stay there, but it would be covered with this piece of mesh. As we discussed in our photos, once you get the right dimensions, which we had discussed, I said around 67, that example just there is actually 70 meshes across here, and then it's just cut straight on the square on each edge to a point, and the other way back and forth. And you could continue to do that just by going up and down through this panel once you had the right depth of netting. So if this is 70 meshes across here, like the other one is, the example is, then the number of meshes from the very tip to the top edge will be 35 meshes, which is what they have. This example, if you were to look at that picture, it's actually 34 meshes wide and by 17 deep. Anyway, that's how it's done. And also then they cut the chafe panel from a smaller piece, about half the depth, where our example there is 35 meshes from the very tip to the center of the middle, from this point up here all the way down to this meshes here in the middle of the sidewall. That's 35 meshes. So the chafe panel there is actually 17 meshes from one side to the other, and you just get a piece that's 17, and you just cut those edges on square and get the right number of meshes across, which not quite 70 now, maybe 65 would do here, and then you just move it, install it onto the panels. Even before you sew them together, install it onto the panels just down so that actually the edges would line up. The edges would line up with the other edge so that you could close them all together with one seam there. There wouldn't be any separate seam, just all together. So for a section from around this point to about this point, it would be solid double mesh. But it's exactly mesh to mesh, but just double. So just for extra chafe protection. Hopefully this is clear to you. It's not that deep. There's no need for any other ropes on the corners other than this one to sort of bite the support loop. The nice tight mesh will snuggle up good to whatever device is catching the Mort lift up cone, sock, ring, whatever it is. Hope that works. Thanks.